Hi guys, it's Mrs. Rast, and this assignment is called What's Your Status? We have spent recently some time learning about daily life in one of the main cities of Mesopotamia, which was Sumer, and got to see kind of what life was like in terms of what they did for fun, their religion, their housing. One thing that's different about ancient times compared to the United States is that they had a social hierarchy or a social structure. And that means that everybody was divided into a class, and unlike in the USA where you could become a millionaire all the way down to the bottom of the economic status, here in Mesopotamia, your social class was pretty much predetermined when you were born, and you didn't really have a chance to move. So what we're going to be looking at is their four classes, which was the nobility, the upper class, meaning the free upper class, the lower free class, and slaves. And we will be putting ourselves into their shoes and seeing how your life would be different and what your typical day would be like. So, first thing we're going to do is step one, we're going to be drawing a job out of a basket, and the role that you pick out is the one that you're going to be researching. You're going to be getting into their shoes and living as them for a very short period of time. So on step one, once we draw, we write I am and then whatever you drew out. Step two, I will provide you some resources that allow you to read about life in Mesopotamia from a farmer's perspective, from a king's perspective, and so on. And I will also be putting these resources on Edmodo. So if you are on the social studies page and you get to the top and it says folders, you would want to click on the folder that has to do with Mesopotamia, and everything that we have here in the classroom you would have access to there should you need it at home. Okay, so on the back of this sheet will be where you'll take your notes about their lives. Then we get to the fun part. Okay, so I will have asked you to bring a poster board, and what we're going to be doing is kind of creating a live action report with you in your role as the star. And you have two options in terms of how you do this. You could either cut out the poster board so you have more of a picture frame, and you would be right here with all your information around your frame. Or you could choose to do it how it's done on the left side with your head peeking out. So I call that a talking head portrait. You're not wearing the clothes this time, you're drawing them. And once again, there is information around you. So it's up to you, you decide. But here are the requirements. Your social class should be at the top. So where these girls have their person's names up here, you would have king or slave or crafts worker, whatever you've drawn out. Then, if you decide to go portrait style, the day that these are due, I would need you to come up with a costume or something that would show what your status in Mesopotamian life was. Or if you choose to do more of the talking head, then I would need you to draw or create the clothes that would fit the lifestyle. Around your head and or body, 5 to 7 facts about life in those person's shoes. So for example, how did they end up in the class? For example, slaves, it has nothing to do with race. It is more about, are you a prisoner of war? Do you owe a debt to people? Do you owe them money? If you are a king, how did you get into that role? And so on. You could also talk about what types of food they ate, because believe it or not, your social status would determine that. It would determine what kind of housing you had, what kind of clothes you wore, and then basically, you know, what are your jobs? What are your duties? 2 3D artifacts on the poster. And what I mean by that is, you can see over here with the Miss Amelia Earhart, she's got a actual toy plane. She looks like it has a toy water gun or water pistol, something, so there's got to be some relation as to why that's on there. So we would have to really kind of get creative and think outside the box, but I can help you with that. Parents can help you with that. And then lastly, somewhere on your poster, 5 to 7 sentences about a day in the life. So think of it kind of like a diary entry. This is me as a merchant waking up, and this is what I'm doing. This is me as a farmer and consumer, and this is what I would be doing. So get creative, and although we are using research and we need to be accurate, I hope you have fun, and I hope you get excited about doing this. I think that's about it. If you have questions, please let me know before this is due, and good luck.